Is Shaun Clarida beating Keone Pearson at the 212 Olympia Prejudging? What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for the 212 Olympia Prejudging review. And it's a closer one than many expected between Keone Pearson and Shaun Clarida. You can see Shaun Clarida here, second from the left. You can see Keone Pearson in the middle. On the far left, we have Lucas Garcia. Second on the right here, we have Nihat, the 22-year-old. And on the far right, we have an Olympia debut, at least in the 212, former classic physique competitor, Courage O'Para on the right. And it came down to a final four call out in the end, eliminating Courage O'Para from that. So he's presumably in the fifth, sixth position right now. But let's get into it and go pose by pose. So front double bicep, you can, watch the stream. I've seen several photos. I'm going to try to put those all together, at least in my mind, and give you my opinion. Now, on the front double bicep, Shaun Clarida, while he's not as tall as Keone Pearson, looks incredibly impressive. And this is a great shot for Keone Pearson, but Shaun Clarida was just stacked. Now, I don't know who I have winning this pose, but Shaun Clarida, you've probably maybe even got to give it to him, depending on how you weight the pose. Like the freaky dimensions and aesthetics of Keone definitely hold up very well, but Shaun Clarida is stacked there. Now, moving into the front lat spread, for me, this one's a win for Keone Pearson over Shaun Clarida, just focusing on those two, just because the taper, the aesthetics, and Keone, while he wasn't maybe in the best condition in this lineup, he wasn't in bad condition by any means. It's just the fact that Shaun Clarida comes in so bursting full and just gnarly and shredded. That's the reason why you sort of go, maybe Shaun Clarida looks, much, much harder and Keone doesn't look so hard. And while Keone could have been peaked a little better, Shaun Clarida definitely nailed his conditioning. And Lucas Garcia on this front double in the front lat spread on the far left, he is no slouch whatsoever. But on this one, I give it to Keone Pearson in the front lat. Side chest, this one is another close-ish one as well. And Lucas Garcia looks phenomenal there on the left. He could have just been maybe a little bit drier, and that could have put him into a contending for the top two position, but I don't think he's quite there as yet. But Shaun Clarida there, second on the left, looks shredded, dense, gnarly. He's not the prettiest, but he definitely is going to be one of the freakiest, if not the freakiest. Keone, more aesthetically pleasing. He's got the lines there. He's not as bursting full like Shaun Clarida always is, but for me, I have to give this one to Keone Pearson. So I've got two poses to one to Keone. Back double bicep. Now, this one, Shaun Clarida is phenomenal. The level of density and muscularity, the biceps, the back, everything pops here. The glutes are in, the legs are in. The legs don't look too slight this year. Apparently, he's up 10 pounds from last year where he worked with Matt Jansen, now working with John Jewett, who's an Olympia competitor as well. Not this year, but has been in the past. That back double, I have to give that to Shaun Clarida. So I have two poses to two right now. Rear lat, I mean, Shaun Clarida, I don't know how I can fault that pose, but then you look at Keone and the crazy, crazy taper here. And then you look at Keone's pose and you're like, well, there's not much really wrong with that at all. It's just that how much do you weight density and condition? And that's what Shaun Clarida has in spades. So that one is sort of tough for me, but let me give it to Clarida. So I think I have it, what is it? 3 poses to 2 to Clarida, which is extremely worrying. But then you move on to the side tricep, and this one for me has to be a win for Keone Pearson. Even though Clarida looks pretty phenomenal here, the midsection goes a little bit, but just dense, hard, gnarly. Nihat, Kaya, and Lucas Garcia and Courage O'Para all have great side triceps here. But in this one, I have to give that one to Keone. So we go 3 poses to 3. If I'm adding them up correctly, is that 3 poses so far? Something like that. Then we've got the ab and thigh pose. And while Shaun Clarida hit it from the front, and he also hit it from the side as well, I have to give this one to Keone just on aesthetics, but it's not that big of a win. I just think Keone just looks so pretty here, although he doesn't hit the directly front on pose. And the midsection distension is a little bit there. He does have that gap in the midsection, which does hurt a little. So honestly, if someone wanted to give this to Clarida, I don't have a huge issue with it, but just I think that Keone hits it so flawlessly and he looks so good here that I have to give that one to Keone. So I've got it 3 poses to 4, something like that. Then the most muscular, And I saw variations of this. I have to give it to Shaun Clarida. So this is actually a close battle. Like when I go through this, I'm like, wow, Clarida's sort of close. And then Lucas Garcia is sort of not that far behind as well. And then these other guys look great, Nihat Kaya and Karajapara. But for me, it was a top two. And I have Keone winning marginally, but it's not by a huge amount. I just think that Keone's too pretty. I think that overall his transitions are phenomenal. But there was probably about 1/3 or slightly more of that of people in my live stream predicting that Shaun Clarida will win this after seeing these two. And it's a distinct possibility. And then from third and fourth, we've got Nihat Kaya, who in an Olympia debut looked absolutely phenomenal at 22 years old. He should be so proud of how good he looks. And then, like I mentioned, Lucas Garcia. This guy is so complete, a little bit taller than Clarida, but not a huge amount either. He's sort of that height between Clarida and Keone Pearson. I'm guessing about 5'3", maybe 5'4" for Lucas Garcia at the very most. And he's going to be one that's going to contend in this class for years. And I'd be very intrigued to see Lucas Garcia in an open lineup someday too. But anyway, that's your wrap up and your review of the 212 from the 2025 Mr. Olympia Prejudging. Make sure you subscribe to Desktop Bodybuilding and click back and click the notification bell button, because I will have a ton of lives going up, watch alongs all weekend, plus show wrap ups, plus a bodybuilding news video and a bunch that are coming up as well. So subscribe, click the notification bell button, and we are out.